This one is titled, The Pettiest Thing I've Done to a Man. Back in high school, I, female, began talking to this guy. Let's call him Trey. One night, Trey slid into my DMs, and soon we began talking every day. Trey would send me messages that made my little high schooler heart swoon. The messages went something like this. You're so beautiful. When you look at me, the world just stops and it's only us. But what really gets me is your eyes. They look like the sky on a clear night, full of stars. He just seemed perfect. He was cute, funny, and constantly compared my eyes to stars and shit, so it seemed we were off to an amazing start. But my best friend wasn't having any of it. Let's call her Zoe. Since I have a tendency to blatantly ignore red flags, Zoe decided to do a bit of digging into who exactly Trey was, and turns out Trey had been talking to 2 other girls at the same time. Even his romantic texts were literally copied and pasted between me and the other 2 girls. So Trey was actually a 2-timing man whore after all. He needed to be punished. After extensive talking and comparing notes, along with movie night watching John Tucker Must Die, all 4 of us, me, Zoe, and the 2 other girls, came up with a plan to make sure Trey never did this to another girl. I texted Trey and asked him if he wanted to meet for dinner one evening. Of course the idiot said yes. I got there early and secured a booth for us to sit in. Trey comes in, gives me a peck on the cheek, and sits across from me in his booth seat. I gasp, "Why are you sitting so far away? I want to sit by you." I move so that I'm sitting on the outside of the booth seat he is in, effectively blocking his exit, as the 2 other girls he had been talking to come in and sit at our table as well. There's nowhere for him to go unless he crawls under the table. Trey goes pale white as we pull up the screenshots we had printed off and start comparing notes. 5 times he compared our eyes to stars. 3 times he compared them to the sea after a storm. And 6 times he said, "Your voice is like a song I want to listen to over and over again." Trey didn't say a word as we turned the table into a collage of screenshots and sticky notes. Soon the waitress came over to take our order. Us girls each got a meal. Trey didn't get anything. We began talking louder and louder until practically the entire restaurant was well aware that Trey Beck was a cheating man whore. With that, we packed up our things, thanked Trey for all of his heartfelt compliments, and left him with the bill for our dinner. None of us have ever heard from him again, and the girlies lived happily ever after.
Bro, that's amazing.
Like a movie.
I could see that. Like, he's like in the booth. He's just stuck, and they just swoop in. They block his exit. He's just like, I'm fucking dead. And
them just like eating a meal. I just think that's iconic. Like, not only do they like bring the receipts literally and put them on the table in front of him, they literally made him sit through a meal while he just like watched them. Like, that's hilarious. It must have been like at least an hour long of torture.
Yeah, at that point, you might as well just get some food too. Like, you fucked up. You fucked it. You screwed the pooch. Now it's just try to play it off as cool as you can. Like, you're fucked in all of their books, and you just need to eat your food and take the shit until they let you out of the booth.
Well, Trey probably won't do that ever again.
Trey probably kept doing that.
These men don't change. They don't learn.
No. Sorry, they mentioned John Tucker Must Die. We should watch that.
I've never seen it.
See, I was saying we should watch it because I was like, when we were watching Gilmore Girls,
the
one girl who was dating Dean, Lindsay, came, and I was like, I know her. Where do I know her from? Oh. And then I looked it up, and she's the main character of John Tucker Must Die. It's a classic, like 2008 something type of movie, like, back in that period where they could be like really raunchy and they weren't worried about offending anybody. Those were the fun era of early 2000s, 2000 to 2010 had all those best like rom-coms.
No, that's so true. And that's the thing. See, one thing about me, I love rewatching stuff that I used to watch as a kid, like just because of the nostalgia.
Yeah, but you don't like watching old movies.
I don't like watching old movies now because I'm like it just doesn't bring me, like, obviously you've seen it before, but it brings you like a sense of nostalgia. For me, I'm just like, the acting sucks, like the script is like, I don't know. I get very nitpicky about it.
We should still watch it. I think you'll like it. It's good. It's like fuck men. It's good.
I like that. All right. Top comment says, "You are my hero."
I love it.
Yes, you are my hero too. Wow. Love that. Iconic. I just know this girl is so confident. Okay.
All right. Back to me.